So when you begin with auto entry, especially we're doing this for the small businesses, medium-sized businesses, this is actually an accounting view. So you can add as many companies onto your subscription as you wish, but your starting point will be blank here. Very simple to get started. You're going to come up here. You're going to hit Add Company up in the upper left. We're going to pretty much take care of everything for you. The only thing you are going to do is up here, you are going to name this whatever it is named in your software. Make sure that the country and the date format is correct. We'll do the rest. We are going to create 4 unique email addresses for you. There are 3 ways to get information into AutoEntry. You can email it to us to one of these addresses. You can upload it from your computer, or you can snap a picture on the app. These email boxes, this is for your payables. This is for your receivables. This is for expense reporting. If you have employees who have to file those expense reports, this is the only thing that you would use this particular module for. This is for supplier and vendor statements. We do reconcile those. Pretty much once you've added that name, you're just going to come down to the bottom here and you're going to click Create Company. Anytime you want to go back to the main dashboard, you come up here to the upper left-hand corner and poke that red eye, and you will return. As you can see, most of these are integrated with some sort of accounting software. Yours will not be integrated at the beginning. No worries. Click into your company, go to the Integrate button, choose your software, and connect. If you are using a desktop software, you will need to use the AutoSync app. You will be installing it if your company file lives on a server, we'll be installing it there. If it lives on the computer, you'll be installing it there. We have instructions or we have assistance. And speaking of assistance, down here in the bottom right, you have access to our tech support team. We have coverage about 22 hours a day, 5 days a week. We have people in Ireland, Australia, the UK, and the United States. Please feel free to start a conversation with them. They are happy to help. Once you have integrated your company, you are ready to rock and roll. So again, up here, I'm going to poke this red eye and it's going to bring me back. We're going to pop into Tony's Italian. And here is where you're going to do the majority of your work. I'm going to go ahead and go over bills first. So again, you have 3 ways to get them to us: upload, email, or snap a pic. If you're going to upload them, right here is where you would do that. If you ever forget the email address that we've created for you, it is right here. You can either email things to us, or if you have a vendor who emails you a bill each month, you can give them this address and it will be emailed directly to us, where we'll extract the data and it will be returned to your auto entry inbox. I would strongly suggest leaving this radio button checked, because with that radio button, you can go ahead and you can batch upload to us. So if you have a PDF that has 47 invoices and 18 receipts on it, and the invoices are 8, 9, and 10 pages long, we'll know where one ends and one begins. If you need line items captured on those, for example, you're in construction and you have bought nails and drywall and you need those line items captured, just click this before you drag and drop, and we will capture those line items. Once you see a green check here, you can shut this down. We've got it. Just to kind of give you a line on the time frame, it takes 2 hours or less for things to return. It is normally far less, but I do like to set the expectation it could be up to 2 hours. Once we have processed it, it will be back in your auto entry inbox for your review. You have 2 views within your inbox for bills. This is the first view. Once you're comfortable with auto entry, absolutely, I would say work off of this one. But in the beginning, you're going to notice there's some blank spots. We learn as we go along because we're integrated with your accounting software. We do have your vendor accounts, your categories, tax codes, such as that. If you start up at the very top, again, anytime you want to see something, poke that eye. This is the bill, and this is what we've extracted off the bill. And again, we're going to make a guess, but if we don't catch it, you're just going to go in and start typing in that vendor. Once you pick the vendor, we're going to remember it. Once you pick the category, we're going to ask you, do you want us to remember? If you say yes, we'll always remember. You can mark a bill as paid. Again, we will remember that, and we will remember the payment method. Once you code your invoice, let's just say you uploaded 50 Sawtech invoices to us. Once you code the first one, we're going to code the other 49. And when they come in, from that moment on, they'll be coded. So again, we learn as we go along. If you want to change line items or anything in the vendor itself, if you click this little truck, you are right inside the vendor. You have a couple of options here. Again, you can turn on line item extraction per vendor if you need it. You can also turn on auto publish. So if you pick your category, what auto publish will do, let's just say, hopefully you don't, but you have somebody sending you 10 Starbucks receipts a day. You don't want to look at them. You know they're under $10. So you can go ahead and you can pick the category you want those to go over to, hit auto publish. And when those receipts come in, we will extract the data. We will post it to your accounting software and you'll get a notice that we've done it. So it is completely automatic. Once everything is exactly the way you wish it to be, if you hit publish and next, it's going to send it over to your accounting software, and then this will go into your archived folder. It's going to keep your inbox neat, but you will always have access to it. You do have a rejected folder. The top 3 reasons something is rejected: we get a ton of selfies. We can't do anything with those, so we reject them. The second is it's got grape juice on it, it's crumpled. We can pick up about 80% of handwriting, but if it's handwritten and it's scrawl, we can't do anything, we reject it. The third reason is a pretty good reason. It's already in your accounting software. So we do guard against those duplicate entries. If it is already in your accounting software and you wish to put it there again, you absolutely can. This is your tool, but we're going to warn you, hey, this is already there. Once you're comfortable with auto entry and everything has been coded, you can absolutely work off this view. This is a lot faster. You can check them all and publish them all. If you've uploaded it to the wrong folder, you can move it. If it's something that you uploaded in mistake, you can reject it. So you do have some options here. That is pretty much as simple as bills get. Moving on. Sales. Sales is exactly the same, done exactly the same. It is just the opposite side of the ledger. And you won't have that little truck because you don't have a vendor. We can also do line items on sales invoices. Again, as you can see, looks exactly the same. Vendor statements. So I use as an example, Home Depot sends you every quarter, they send you a statement and it has 150 invoices on it and you're going cross-eyed trying to reconcile that statement. As long as you have processed those invoices through AutoEntry, we can reconcile that. Again, you can upload, snap a picture, email it to us. This is not a very long one. Hopefully you could do this by eye, but anyway, this is your statement. These are the invoices, and you hit reconcile. If it does not find all the matches, you have 3 options. You can enlarge your parameters to find the match by day, by amount. You can ignore it, or you can create a placeholder over in your accounting software for that invoice. If it was matched to a different statement, you will see this dark green matched. That way you will know, hey, this was already on a different statement. That's vendor statements. I always want to over-explain them because they're so easy. That's it. I mean, done. Expense reporting. So in expense reporting, that is literally for those employees who have to file an expense report. Now, some people send it through bills, but some people want to have that report. So this is also good whether they have a company credit card or whether they need to be reimbursed. You literally work right across the top. So when somebody signs into AutoEntry, in order to create their expense report, they will only see their receipts. There are 3 roles within the expense reporting module. There is the submitter, the approver, and the admin. One person can be more than one, but they will only see their receipts here. The admin will see all of them. You have regular categories for your expenses. You absolutely can tie those to your GL codes, and I'll show you where you do that in just a moment. But basically, this is where you begin. You can either add it to an existing report, you can create a new report. You can create a manual expense in case you have lost the receipt. You can create a mileage expense. Again, this is a very simple but very effective program. Doesn't have GPS, that type of thing. It's just journey from, journey to the report you wish it to be on. You can have different mileage rates for different employees. Once their report is finished and they are ready to submit it, they're going to come over to reports and they are going to be able to submit their report. And I apologize, somebody's been playing with my stuff and they've submitted these reports, so I can't show you what it looks like when you submit a report. So we're gonna look somewhere else. Just 1 second. You'll love it when you got to work with the glitches. Speaking of glitches, well, that was fun. I appreciate your patience. Bear with me. I know there's one in here. Let's cross our fingers. There we go. Again, reports. Wonderful. So when they're ready to submit their report, they're just going to hit submit. They can submit it to more than one approver. What happens once they submit it is the approver gets an email letting them know that they do have a report for review. Again, working right across the top. They just poke the eye. And they have the option to approve, reject, or reassign it to a different approver. Once they have approved it, it jumps over into bills in order to be paid by the admin and moved over into your accounting software. Again, a very simple program. And just to show you, if it is a reimbursable expense, they're going to click here. If it's company credit card, they're not. You will also see the documentation. And that is expense reports, incredibly simple. My very favorite module, bank statements. We do a beautiful job with bank and credit card statements. Bank and credit card statements, you're not able to email them in. For security purposes, you do need to upload those directly from your computer. If you are uploading, if you are scanning the statements, you don't need to scan the fluff pages. The bank sends you a book, they send you check images. Just send us the transactional pages. You do need to scan those in at least 300 DPI in grayscale or color. Black and white doesn't work so well with our OCR software. You would want to break it into projects for anything that you want to be kept separate. Let's just say you keep uploading your bank statement month after month after month. You're going to have one great big long file. So you just add a new project. You can, put month of August, whatever. And that will keep it in manageable bits. Again, drag and drop, browse. Once you see the green check, we have it. Bank and credit card statements can take up to 4 hours to come back because they are so transactionally heavy. It is usually far less, but I like to set that expectation. Once it's back, it'll be in your inbox. And again, anytime you want to look at something, just poke that eye. On the right-hand side will be your documentation. As soon as my internet catches up, there it is. And what we've extracted is on this side. This is a piece of cake. You're going to download it into your format. If you are on QBO, if you're on desktop, if you're on QBO, if you're in Sage, we have it formatted. It is going to download a file onto your computer. You are going to move over to your accounting software and upload it to your banking center. If you have your feeds hooked up for your software, you are not going to use us for this. We are great for catch-up work, but you're not going to use us for this because what we do is we mimic the bank feed. So occasionally, for some reason, credit card statements come in with their debits and credits flipped. We actually invented this button. Just click it and that will fix it. That's bank statements, super duper easy. Just to go over a couple of quick things, company settings, kind of where all your information is as far as what your company name. You can change your company name here. Again, if you forget your email boxes, they're here. If you decide that you want line items on every single bill that you have, you can do that here. Absolutely no worries. Do make sure that you click Save Changes. Company contacts is just pretty much where all your vendors are located. And I mentioned that you could tie a GL code to your general categories for expenses, and this is where you would do it in Manage Lists. Because you don't want your salespeople messing with the GL codes, this way you can tie it to a specific code. So if they do pick accommodations, and it'll be whatever it is in your codes. Integration, you have a couple of things here. This is where you can add your payment accounts. So if you add your payment account, that is when you can mark something as paid. We are not going to touch your payment accounts. We're not going to pay anything out of them, but if you want to mark a bill as paid, you will need to integrate those payment accounts. Adding users, incredibly easy. Up here in the upper right, add people or all people, excuse me. And you're just going to email them. You'll see your email address here, and that's what you're going to pick. You're going to send them an email. Once they have accepted that email and set up a password, they will be a specified user. You can edit their permissions depending on what what levels of permission you want them to have. They can just upload receipts and bills if you would. Expenses, this is where you do the submit or the approver, and you can give them all the permissions that you wish. And just briefly to go over pricing. Oh, one more thing. Here's your usage report. You can tell what you're using us on, what you're using most, how many credits you have left. And also here is how our credits are used. We do operate on a system of credits. So a bill or a receipt is 1 credit per invoice. Same with a client billing. If you want line item extraction, it is 2 credits per invoice. Bank statements and credit card statements, because they are so transactionally heavy, are 3 credits per page, which is why I say do not send us the fluff pages. That will definitely save you some credits. So this is our US pricing. Our lowest subscription is our most expensive credit, $12 a month. That's 24 cents a credit. So the very, very, very most you would pay for an invoice is 48 cents. If you have a 100-page invoice that have line items, 48 cents, pretty good price to pay for that to be done. You absolutely can scale up or scale down each month. Completely up to you. If you get too many credits, you can pause your subscription. Your credits roll over for 90 days, first in, first out. And you can also go over by double. If you were to go over by 10 credits on this bronze, you're paying 24 cents a credit. We're not going to kick you up to the next plan. We're not going to penalize you. We're going to charge you $2.40 for those extra credits you've used. And that is pretty much an overview of AutoEntry. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat room. Again, you can hit that button on your meeting bar, or if you can't find that, hit the Alt key, the H for Harry, and that will bring up the chat room. I'll wait just a couple of seconds here to see if there are any questions. Otherwise, absolutely visit us at the chat room. You absolutely can click this and say, hey, I have a question. Thank you very much for joining me today. Really appreciate your time. Really excited to have you here with AutoEntry, and let us know if we can help in any way. Have a great rest of the day.